So when you come up, this roundabout area is going to be blocked off, and we're at the Leach Botanical Gardens, by the way. When you come up this venue, or this road, you can load out over here. You might need a cart. A lot of times the ceremony is right here, depends on each wedding. And they do it right underneath that, in front of that chimney over there. And you'll put speakers somewhere right in this area. And then also there is an outlet right here. So that way you can actually see, or actually plug in nice and easily. And then usually the speakers, a lot of times the DJs will put them over in that area. There's sometimes a bar in this spot. We'll go to the next portion here in a second. Okay, if you're loading into the back for Leach Botanical Gardens, you're gonna come up this little pathway, and then you're gonna come down here, and it goes right next to the side of the building. Whoops, you can see I ran into a pot. I'm gonna read. All right, so you're gonna be coming up this driveway, and for the back portion of Leach Botanical Gardens, you come back here. There's a little path you can see. Pull up your cart or whatever you're using, walking up here, and you go to the right side of the house, and you go all the way back here. This area can get really loud, so I would not suggest bringing any subs to this spot. Their max capacity is 100 people anyway, so we don't need subs for this venue. And there could be major noise issues, and we don't want to deal with that. So a lot of times there can be a ceremony here, and people walk down the aisle this way. Sometimes there's been, I guess, a ceremony over by that place, and that's called the carriage house. In terms of power, there's a power outlet there, and behind you there's a power outlet over there. You can see right at the edge of my finger. If it's a really hot day, that spot is really good to be able to stay out of the sun, because it's fairly shaded most of the time, because that is the west side of the house. And then this side tends to be warmer and hotter, but you know, if you can handle it, you come in at the right time and it's fine, then don't worry about it. But you may need a tent occasionally, and some DJs will set up here, right in that area, or right over here. Other things to note is that there is like I mentioned, there's a noise issue here. So we don't want the neighbors to have issues, as well as we want to be invited back many a time. So make sure you don't bring a sub to the spot. Just bring your mains, and also be cognizant of your voice when making announcements, because the announcements apparently sometimes are too loud too. So what they have had said is that if you were to have your speakers and you aim them up this hill, and if you can tilt your speakers at all, they recommend tilting them upward, and that way people here can hear it, but then the sound gets lost in the trees and goes away, and then the neighbors who live over there don't complain, and the neighbors who live over there don't complain. So those are things to keep in mind, and also be very courteous to the venue staff, because they'll let you know if it's too loud or not. All right, and we'll walk into the house here, and you can see where the power is right there. Okay. All right, so this is the indoor space. Obviously, this is more of a last-minute option, but if it's extremely hot, or if it's a winter wedding, or it starts pouring rain, this would be where you would come in. Not very big, so it's not a lot of space, but there's outlets all along the walls here, but you have to keep in mind these outlets you can only plug into one of them. So if you notice on most of them, they blocked them out because it is an old power source run into this, or old wiring into this house. So you're gonna blow a fuse really quickly. So what we recommend more so than anything, if you don't just plug into these outlets, which you see all of them, is that you just run a cord outside and plug into that wall. That's all new wiring right there. And then what you can do is just tape it down and run it underneath these mats, and then tape it down here. And if you set up over there, you can put your system or your table there or over there. Okay.